And here we go, folks. I am Nathan Lyttle. I think I know most all of you folks, but let's go ahead and take a chance to get to know each other one more time. This is who I am on paper, background goals, and an honest look at some of my strengths and weaknesses as we go on through here. So I just turned 39 years old, and I am from Eastern Kentucky, specifically Hazard, Kentucky, down here in the mountains. Been married to my wife Tiffany, beautiful wife Tiffany, for 17 years, and we have two kids. Arya, she is 11, and yes, she's named from after Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. And then Benton, 7-year-old son. I didn't get to name the second kid, so no nerd names there. But as far as my career path, started out as a television producer at a local television station. Did that for several years before transitioning from the newsroom to the classroom, where I taught media arts to high school students in Eastern Kentucky. And from there, I became the media arts consultant at the state level, providing resources to teachers like me across the state. And now I am the creative communications lead at KDE with the Office of Career and Technical Education. And that's just a fancy name for saying that I tell stories about the great things that our students do, our teachers do, and our workforce partners do. I take photos, take videos, work with media outlets, just getting the word out about the great things that we're doing for Kentuckians in the workforce. Let's get into some goals. I'm going to talk about a short-term goal and then a midterm goal. The first one almost feels like I'm cheating, but short-term goal is to get an A in this class. Got off to a good start in 901, and would like to keep that rolling and keep the grades up and because I know myself. I know how I operate. If I start to slip, it's really hard for me to get back on track. So I got to stay on top of things. Midterm goal, if you guys watched this video in the last class that I did, my goal has been to lose 100 pounds in a year, which I am a little behind track on that right now, but I'm well over halfway there. Had some it's been a tough month as we've been taking care of my mother, and she's moved into hospice care. I'm kind of slacked off on things, but at the end of the year, if I'm at 85, 90 pounds, I don't think it's going to be a failure, but I'm going to keep pushing until I get that 100. I don't know that I'm going to make it right now by the end of the year, but I still think I'm going to be close enough to call it a win and to keep grinding with it. Now for the SWOT analysis, starting off with my strengths, which I work in communication, so I feel I'm a good communicator. I'm a radio broadcaster in my spare time. I know how people communicate. I've studied it, how people communicate through social media, through body language, through verbal, nonverbal things, and I just have a good grasp on that, and it gives me a lot of advantages when trying to get a point across. Another strength I have is attention to detail. I feel like that came into play last class quite a bit because there were just these little details on assignments that if you don't do this, you miss points. So I try to just follow directions, show up, and make sure that if I fall short on something, it's not because I didn't do the work, or it's not because that I wasn't prepared. So I think I pay attention to detail. Weaknesses, number one is overcommitment. I have a lot of irons in the fire at any given time. I have a lot of side gigs, a lot of creative projects, and now I'm back in school. So it's been a business as usual. Business as usual. I stay busy, but I know that one of the reasons why I chose this program is because it was a 2-year program, and I know that there's no other way to survive a program like this than to just dive headfirst in and just give it all you've got. So I'm committed, but sometimes I'm overcommitted. Um, Another weakness, poor at delegating. I've got a lot of, like I said, creative projects, side projects. I've got an active LLC with some people that I work with, and some of the people that are, that report to me. I should probably give them some of the stuff that I'm doing, but I'm so bad at trusting people with my vision because I don't think that they'll respect it like I do, and I end up putting in a lot of work that I probably shouldn't be putting in. Um, and it's something I need to get better at is trusting other people. I mean, maybe trust is the actual underlying weakness there, but it, and maybe the symptom is poor delegation. But either way it goes, I feel that's a weakness. Opportunities. I feel like with my unique set of opportunity, unique set of skills and experience and education, um, especially when I get through with it, finish this program, I have an opportunity for a career jump and find a leadership position that really speaks to me, and that's kind of the opportunity that I'm most searching right now, and this program is a big part of that. And another thing this program is a part of is the research that I plan on doing, and the research that I've been doing so far about career and technical education, and specifically outcomes in rural Eastern Kentucky. It's something I'm passionate about. It's something I believe in, and it's something that I think, um, when all is said and done, it's going to be an opportunity um, to bolster Eastern Kentucky's workforce. Create better outcomes for students in the area. So I think that the research that I'm doing here is a huge opportunity in and of itself. Um, Threats. I work for the executive branch, um, and leadership change um, is always a threat. Doesn't It may not affect my job specifically, but it very well could affect, um, you know, the commissioners and associate commissioners that are above me. And once you have a leadership change, if an election goes a different way, and sometimes even just the legislature, the turnover there and the things that happen on election day really can affect my job and the things that I'm responsible for, or if who I report to, or maybe if I'm around. So that's always a threat for me. Um, and on election year, it's it's more evident than others. And then burnout is another threat, and that kind of piggybacks off of my overcommitment thing from earlier. But when you got a lot of fires burning, sometimes they burn out, and it's something that I had to fight last semester, and it I already feel it's Thursday at 3 p.m. and I've just now sat down to really knock out this video, and part of it is because some external factors, some family health stuff that I can't really do anything about, but it's still a factor no matter what. So burnout's always a threat for me, and will be until I'm not around anymore, I think. But I'll go ahead and shut this down. This is who I am on paper today, and let's revisit it. We're going to revisit it at the end of the class, I'm sure, but I'd love to revisit it in 2 years. Looking forward to watching your guys' videos, and seeing what you got to say, and then when we get through this program, see see what our strengths, weaknesses look like at the end of it. So, thank you, folks, and looking forward to watching your videos and engaging in the discussion.